This is Jess, and I saw this article, and I wanted to be reactionary about it. I've actually left the tab open for a couple of months. According to the president of Google something or other, AI's potential to tackle the UK's productivity puzzle. To some extent, in the abstract, I like the sound of that. If productivity is at all lacking, and if it's possible to improve it without increasing human labor, awesome. I'm already aware that Keir Starmer has put a lot of investment into AI. I dislike the way this cult has been bankrolled. It doesn't even have a specific meaning. We've referred to so many different things as AI throughout the decades, things that approximated human intelligence, and now our definition is getting rewritten to mean some shit, like a new button on your phone screen that you keep pressing by accident. Fuck off. It's making me hate sparkle emojis. I do use at least one tool that's categorized as AI. I do a lot of music-based shit posting, and even more sincere posting that would benefit from removing the vocals from an existing recording to make a backing track version. AI can listen to this stuff and can distinguish voice from backing and percussion from bass, and hand you a pretty decent approximation of the seeds. No human can do that. The UK stands to gain a vital £400 billion worth of economic growth from AI-powered innovation. There's a link for that, but the claim it links to is by Debbie Weinstein. And this is hypothetical money that she pretends that the UK could have access to. And half of the 400 billion that the UK could gain depends on further adoption used productively. I don't know if that means that the other half, the other 200 billion, is guaranteed. Many people are yet to discover AI's potential for transforming their work and productivity. Yeah, because many people work in newsagents or construction. Many people aren't useless tech heads that could be perfectly approximated by a machine. Currently, 2/3 of workers, particularly older women and those from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, have never used generative AI at work. That's the language of equalities, pointing out that older women are disenfranchised here, and the working class and the underclass are missing out. But what they're missing out on is tedious bullshit that's probably not relevant to their field of work. What's an older woman's job? I can say this because I am one, librarian. Dealing in ostensibly well-written books? That's quite far from AI. I know there's a decent amount of information processing and display organization, the kinds of things that AI pretends to be good at, but I think libraries are doing just fine without AI, and I wouldn't trust bringing it in over trusting the experience of my colleagues. But really, there's older women all across the workforce, and the correlation you're noting here is an inverse correlation with being a cunt. You know, someone who's into AI is someone who's into Bitcoin. That's a younger man's game, and it's a cunt's game. Demographics with fewer cunts are gonna have less AI adoption. Working class people are less likely to have fallen for this shit, because they're not as predisposed to these market phases. Good work, older women. It's even specifically generative. If they tried to make some argument that AI has a workplace function in doing the work for you, generative is about writing stuff and drawing stuff. Literally creative skills that AI is famously terrible at. I'm sure you recognize the instinctive moment where you accidentally look at something that's made by AI and you feel insulted and degraded and you want your time back. That's what Debbie believes there should be more of, if Debbie actually ran this. We can't afford to leave AI adoption to chance. We must force the religion on all. And so Google is trying to unfold AI adoption all across the UK, with no respect to relevance or the environmental damage or just how sick of this shit we are. I've been making these videos, I call them World Weird Web, where I look at odd stuff on the internet. They've aged really badly because I was generally pointing out some low quality generated content, and I could point it out because it was an oddity on the internet. Now it's That's the entire fucking thing. Thanks to this cult, thanks to people who don't fucking shut up about AI, who are addicted to it, who are probably in love with their chatbot. So Google is hoping to push AI on small businesses, older women, and people from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. It's not relevant, it is condescending, and it doesn't understand real humans, which makes it a lot like the contemporary era of what gets called AI. It is only popular because Silicon Valley needed a next big thing. They exaggerated some minor breakthroughs they had, and the American stock market fell for it. And now the global economy is tied up in AI being the current big thing, with no logical consideration of its relevance. I hope it fucks off. They're even reporting, as if it's a positive thing, that AI habits are easy to form. My AI habit is having it come up for any fucking search term, no matter whether it's relevant, and it improvises a few paragraphs about something it doesn't know what the hell it's talking about, and speaks in this really redundant way that trips over itself. Here's a more detailed breakdown. I'll give you a more detailed breakdown. Forming AI habits is literally impairing the intelligence of the human race. And that's real intelligence. Or it was until AI cut it down. Look, it's literally about talking to a virtual assistant, that thing we've all avoided doing on the internet as much as we possibly can. One of the alleged issues is that people don't yet seem comfortable with socially interacting with AI as if it's a person. They prefer using the internet or a search engine. Well, that one's solved now because the internet and all search engines have been fucking consumed by AI. Most of the viewers of this video are going to be AI. You can fuck off too.